Well, hello, I'm Wendy at the Broken Needle Quilt Shop in Bunn, North Carolina. And today I'm going to make a throw-size quilt that will finish at 48 by 66. It is Gnomester Mash by Wilmington Prints. We do have a limited number of kits available on our website, and you can find that in the link below. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do is trim the panel. We want to trim it a 1/4 inch outside the edge of the picture. So I'm going to spin it around here and start with the top so you can see what I'm doing. This is the edge here that we want to trim a 1/4 inch away from. So I'm going to put this ruler on the edge, and there's a 1/4 inch there. And we're going to do this all the way around on all 4 sides. Oops. Make sure your blade is sharp. And there you go. Now that my panel's trimmed, I need to fussy cut the border print. So what we want to do is cut the gray strip out, because we're going to put it in the quilt here, and then the purple strip, which is the wider strip, is going to go here on this inside border. Now my borders are fussy cut, and it's time to cut up the rest. I'm going to use the Stripology XL ruler. It's going to make the cutting so quick and easy. So in order to get the fabric from selvage to selvage under the Stripology ruler, I need to fold the fabric up, and then I'm going to take the Stripology ruler and I'm going to align the dark black line down here on the fold and move it over a little bit so that I can get it on the 0 line, and that's going to give me a straight edge here. Watch your fingers right here, and I can just gently lift it up and pull that away. Now I have a straight edge, and I'm going to cut my strip. And now there's my strip. Now I need to make some squares. So I turn it, open it up, and again we want to get our first straight edge, so I'm going to line up the Stripology with the cut we just made here, and I'm going to trim the selvages off at 0. And cut along our measurements, and now we have 4 squares ready to go. Per the Gnomester Mash pattern, I've already cut out all of my pieces, and the first thing I need to do is sew these 2 strips to this center fussy cut border piece. Now that my strip set is sewn together, we need to make these 3 pieces. Now we're going to make this block, and we only need to make 1. But notice, you want to make sure your little gnome is turned this way. Now we're going to sew this piece to this side, right sides together, and press it open, and then we'll put this piece on the bottom here, right sides together, and press open to complete this block. Next we need to make these blocks. It's the same block, but the fabric placement is different. So I need 4 squares to go on top of my big square, and I need to make a mark from corner to corner on each of my little squares. So I'm going to use my ruler and a friction pin to make a line, and I'm going to place it up here, and at the sewing machine I'm going to sew on the line. So I'm going to do that on all 4 of my blocks, and I'll come back after I'm done sewing. My blocks are complete, and if you're fussy about it, you can make sure that your grain line is going vertically, which that is what I have done in all of these blocks. Now we have all the pieces put together, all of our blocks and our strips, and the panel is trimmed, so now we get to put it all together. Now I've sewn my strip sets to the side and to the bottom here. So my panel is complete, my strip sets are on, and now our fussy cut strip set that we made earlier in the border, we need to add onto the side here, which will be this part. We're going to put one on the right side, and then one of the strip sets that we fussy cut on the bottom. However, there is a mitered corner right here, and I'm going to show you how to do a mitered corner. I also have another video called Spinning Seams and Mitered Corner Borders. You can check that out for more detail. But what we do is I want to align this strip set so that the tree falls down in this corner. So I've scooted it up a little bit so that the moon is not in the corner. If you look at the pattern again, it shows the moon just a little bit off of the corner. It may be a little bit more difficult to line up this perfect curved moon if we have it straight in the corner here. So in order to avoid that, we're going to try to line up the purple trees. So we're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam from the top all the way down until we're a 1/4 inch. We want to stop a 1/4 inch away from the end here. And then when we put on the next strip, we're going to sew from that side over there, which is the left corner, down, and we're going to stop again a 1/4 inch away, and we'll have a little 1/4 inch gap here. And at the machine I'll show you how to put the mitered corner together. Now I'm using a Gnome M7 machine, and this is a HP foot. It's actually it's the 1/4 inch foot. Most other machines too will have a little notch here on their feet, that is, and that notch is a 1/4 inch away from the needle. So that was going to help me to stop a 1/4 inch away from the edge of the fabric. So I'm looking down here and I can see the edge of my fabric, and I want that little notch. That's where, when it aligns with that, that's where I'm going to stop. See? And now I'm going to backstitch once and then cut. About a 1/4 inch little gap here. And now I'm going to go and sew the bottom and do the same. So I've sewed the border strips to the side and to the bottom, and as I said, you can see there's a little 1/4 inch away from the corner is where I stopped on the bottom and over here on the side strip. So now I need to make a 45-degree angle. So I take the center of the quilt and fold it up and match the borders up here. And you see I'm getting this 45-degree angle. So let me scoot this up a little bit and make sure our borders are on top of each other. And we want our seams to go up. So they're both going to be going up. I need my 45-degree line on my ruler, and I want to match it with the seam here and with this 45-degree angle of the center of the quilt. And then I'm going to move it down, and then I'm going to mark a line right here. And the line, the sewing line, is actually going to start down here where I stopped my stitches, so I'm making a little mark. Now I'm going to take it to the sewing machine, and when I sew, I want to make sure that these are going up. Both of the seams are going up, and I'm going to sew from here down to here. Now that it's sewn, open it up and voila, mitered corner border. So I need to trim this off. And there we go. Now we're almost done. We just need to add our last two borders. So I'm going to add the green to each side first, and then to the top of the quilt. And then I'm going to add the orange with the kitties on it, on the side and then the top, and we will be finished. Ta-da! Gnomester Mash complete!